excited to be here with everyone today. This is normally pre-pandemic. We are road warriors now at all the hair shows, training, meeting new people, connecting in. I'm going and doing in-salon trainings. I absolutely love training teams. So I am so excited to be here with everyone today, and thanks for setting aside this time to work on you and your business. And this is our second round of Mastermind series. So again, go in the chat. You know, my team, our team, empowering you. We're going to be, you know, bantering back and forth with everybody. I will keep up as much as I can with it as well. But I'm so excited to be here. I love working with service providers and owners to create a six-figure income. And I'm just jazzed about this conversation. Super awesome. So, Amy, you have control of the, right? So empowering you. So most of us have been salon and spa owners, and we have done a lot of the work. For myself, I know that the systems that I teach, I've implemented in my business for the last 14 years, and we're certified coaches, and we just love building up salon owners and managers and service providers to create lives they love and to create all the kind of money, because we know what's out there. So we are just really committed to that with Empowering You Consulting. I've been with the company for about 9 years now, and we're all remotely based too. So for a lot of you here, Zoom is a new thing. So we've been practicing doing Zoom calls and connecting in as a team because we're all remote probably for the last 9 years. So this is such a great modality for everyone to stay connected during this time and really get connected with your team, get connected with your colleagues. I know there's a lot of people having, they can't see their friends right now, so they're doing happy hours. So Zoom is such a great modality, and it's so exciting that we're able to bring it to you guys. And we already have 151 people on this training. So that's pretty cool that we get to do this remotely now, even though we can't see you in person at the shows. One thing that we want to do also is invite you. Suffering is optional. What I mean by that is that we are offering complimentary strategy sessions. So if you reach out to one of us, we're going to have our Calendly links in the chat. I'm going to have it posted up. You can text us, you can email us. You can schedule something on our Calendly link. We want to support you. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling frustrated, suffering is optional. So what we're going to do in these strategy sessions is we are going to laser focus on some challenges that you've been facing in your business, even pre-pandemic, before we had to close our salons and spas. I think there's a few states out there that still can remain open, but majority of us have had to close our salons and spas. So we want to invite you guys to take this opportunity with us to have a one-on-one session so we can laser beam focus on what challenges that you've been having and give you some solutions and have you walk away with some really concrete steps so then you can create your goals and have your dream business. So please, we invite you to do that with us as well. Also, we know a lot of you guys are on social media. So these are our handles for Instagram. So start following us. If you love what we're talking about, tag us. We'll reply back to this, or reply back to you guys. So please follow us on Instagram and tag us. It's a way to get more of our community involved. So we invite you to do that.
Hey, Bridget, Shelly says yes. She's been validated and motivated on every session. Yay! We're glad.
I love that. That's awesome. Hi, Shelly. Shelly Hutchinson, I think, right?
I think so. It slides away quickly. Yes, Shelly Hutchinson, yes.
Awesome. All right, so I like to get people's minds turning. So, churning and starting to think about things. So I like to ask some questions before I start my trainings, whether I'm at a hair show or I'm doing it in salon. So how many of you believe that six-figure earners know something that you don't know? They have a secret and they're not even willing to share it. So share in that chat. Like sometimes you're looking at somebody else. It could even be a millionaire. Like, why are they a millionaire and I'm not? And what is their secret sauce? How many of you want to work smarter versus harder? I've worked with salon owners before that were working 60, 70 hours behind the chair, not taking a paycheck, and didn't even know what a vacation was, and then have flipped them, and now they're working smarter, taking vacations, and living what they love. So how many of you want to work smarter versus harder? Who's out there?
Georgette's out there. That's what she says.
Okay. One of the big things I loved to ask too is like, what is your fear of charging what you're worth? So think about, you know, when we were still in the salons and spas, you have your client, you're walking them up, you just spent 3 or 4 hours with them, you did a balayage, you did a deep conditioning treatment, a haircut, you total that up in your head, and it should be, you know, $350. And then before you know it, you're saying, that'll be $200, please. How many of you can relate to that one? So what's that fear that's going in the back of your head that has you not charging the correct price? You know, some of those thoughts I know to be are, I'm not good enough. If I charge them too much, they're going to leave me. They're going to question me. How many of you, oh yeah, somebody just said it, the itty bitty shitty committee. Trainings before. Yes, that's the itty bitty shitty committee. That's that crazy voice inside of our head that talks us out of charging what our worth is. So I want you guys to write this down. Fear is just false evidence appearing real. We've already made up this crazy story in our head of all the things that can go wrong, and it's not the truth. So I like to practice telling that itty bitty shitty committee to take a step back and think about something different. And then I want to hear from a couple people in the chat, like really what else gets in your way of making a 6-figure income? And when I say 6-figure income, that could be 50,000 to one person or even 60,000. That's whatever you think you want to make. So I just want to be clear on that as well. So let's hear from a couple people. What has been getting in your way of making a 6-figure income?
We're seeing a lot of people say guilty, clients
Okay.
being mad.
Clients being mad, feeling guilty. Yep. That guilt, a lot of the times, comes from managing our clients' pocketbooks. You know, we start hearing that their stories, that their kid has to go to college, they just got a flat tire, they're going through a divorce. You guys relate to that, right? So that's when we start managing their pocketbook, so we start feeling bad. So it's not your job to manage your clients' pocketbooks. What I'm going to be talking about today is different practices and things that you can unhook yourselves, because how many times do you find yourself discounting your clients because of their woe stories, and then they're driving away in their Mercedes-Benz or they're going off to Italy, right? So it's your job now to learn how to unhook you from your clients' pocketbooks and choose something different when you go back to the salon and spas. I love Richard Kawasaki. He is someone that started changing my life and my mindset when I was about 27 years old. So when I was 27 years old, I was head of the color department at a salon I was working at, and a client of mine was asking me about somebody I was dating, and he was in real estate. And she's like, I really think you should read this book. You should give him this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out. So I went to the bookstore and I bought this book, and it was really cheesy looking to me. It was black with purple and gold dollar signs on it. It was so cheesy. I actually was thinking to myself, I don't know if I can give this to this person. Like, what if it's terrible? So I purchased the book and I decided to read it for myself. And it completely started changing my mindset. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the book by Richard Kawasaki. So at 27 years old, I was making a good living. I was probably making $60,000, you know, at that age. And I was just spending my money. My tips were going through my hands like water. I bought whatever I wanted. I probably had $10,000 in credit card debt. And after I read this book, I paid off my credit card debt within months. And before you know it, I had like over $10,000 in savings, and I started managing my tips. So I highly recommend going to read this book because it started changing my life and my mindset at the age of 27, which started leading me to becoming a salon owner. So my name is Bridget Sovis, and I've been in this industry for over 25 years. And I was a six-figure earner behind the chair. And about 14 and a half years ago, I found myself working behind the chair, making six figures. I was working in a salon that didn't have very much structure, but I knew how to build my own business. And I thought to myself, if he can own a salon, there's no reason why I can't. Any of you relate to that? And then I had the opportunity to buy the salon. So I buy the salon, and then I quickly realized there is a complete difference between doing hair behind the chair and making money and owning a business. I'm now taking my six-figure income and I'm putting it back into the business to keep the doors open, trying to run a team. I had no idea how to manage cash flow. I didn't even know what a cash flow projection was. And I'm like spinning my wheels, and all I'm doing is crying. So luckily for me, I was introduced to a business coaching consultant and completely changed my life around. I started by the systems I teach today. I took my average service ticket from $90 to $140. Now think about that. That was 14 and a half years ago. Imagine what my average ticket would be now if I was still doing hair. So I have, 14 and a half years. I have a roller coaster of a journey, and I started growing my business by 30, 40%. I decided to become a trainer in the industry and make a difference. And I've been working with Empower You Consulting for about 9 years. I became a professional accredited life coach. And I love working with owners. I've worked with owners that have not had a paycheck, and now they're taking a paycheck. They've grown their businesses by 30 to 50%. I've worked with service providers to create six-figure incomes and to grow their businesses. So I absolutely love what I do. I am so excited to be here with you guys today. And again, here is my Calendly link and also my email. So please reach out to me. I am just here to over support our community because I'm committed to our industry shifting their mindset. So everyone's charging what they're worth because there's a lot of money out there. So I really want to talk about, during this time when we're away from our salons and spas, really even thinking about how are we going to stay connected to our loyal customers. It is way more expensive to even get new clients in the door. And our clients are going to be willing to spend more money with us if we keep nurturing that relationship. Again, like I like to even go back to same clientele. By shifting my communication with my clients and by changing my consultation with them, my clients started spending $50 more on average just with my existing clientele. So just think about that with your business and even nurturing your clients. I was talking to one of my clients on Friday who, she's a skin esthetician and she owns a spa. So we were talking about how can she nurture and grow her relationship with her clients. So we talked about her creating 15-minute consultations over the phone with them for skincare, and then her creating mini spa packages to send. On Saturday night, she texted me and she said within 2 hours of posting on social media her mini spa kits, she sold $600 worth of products in 2 hours on a Saturday. That's pretty cool, right? Who's got a dollar for that? Show your faces, you're excited, everybody. I gotta see some smiles out there. And then again, just like nurturing your client's relationship, this is the time to really think about what you guys want to reinvent and recreate as a service provider on your own and as a company. How can you reinvent the relationships going back in? How will you have stronger consultations? How will you have different type of promotions? So I know we talked about this a lot in the first mastermind round. When you get back to the salons and spas, it's not going to be the time where you just start discounting to discount to get them back in. It's the time to up level the service so your clients are spending more and you're not going to be controlling their pocketbooks. You guys are probably going to have to do a lot of hair color corrections out there because as much as we're saying show our roots, we know that hair color purchases have been skyrocketing in the drugstores. So you guys are going to have a lot of work ahead of yourselves. So this is going to be a great opportunity. And then I also want you to think about really how you're going to retain your clients when you get back to the salons too. Really looking at what were yourself as a service provider, and what were the company's pre-booking practices. So it's time to reinvent, like, what are your pre-booking scripts going to look like so that you can keep your clients, your existing clients, coming in more and coming in more frequently. Like, keep nurturing that relationship.
So Bridget, I just want to pause you for a second because we have something in the chat. Dee was saying this is great, but you've got to have your team want this as well. How would you like to address Dee's challenge?
Can you say that one more time, the question?
Yeah. So the challenge is to get your team to want this. So what is your suggestion around getting your team involved in this?
I would recommend that you get them on a Zoom call. And things that I like to ask teams, you know, even when I have teams that I go do trainings at, whether I train them on instant income or go do an on-site, key questions I like to have my owners ask their team is, you know, how many of you want to make more money? You know, what would making more money mean to you? If I could show you and teach you ways to make more money, would you be interested? Would that be valuable to you? So this is where, you know, looking even at like asking open-ended questions to see like where they're at. And then even looking at too, maybe there's going to be some team members that are stuck too. And how are we going to nurture the people that really want in on all this as well? So those are sometimes things to look at also. But those are definitely key questions to ask them. How many of you want to make more money? How many of you are willing to do what it takes to make more money? What would making more money provide for you? Did that answer your question?
We'll find out. So one more thing you want to add to this is yesterday we did a whole thing on culture. Mm-hmm. So I think sometimes we want to thread back and have that conversation as well as to kind of what's the culture we have set for a company. And inside the core values, you know, we got to take a look to see, do we hire to the culture? Do we hire the type of people that we want working for us as well? So another place to look is, as you're having your Zoom meeting, are these the people? Is this my tribe? So I would just add that to it for a bit.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Amy.
Well, there's one other comment, just one quick thing, Bridget. There's a comment here
that
says when we go back, since our clients have been out of work, or the majority, which may or may not be true, the majority have been out of work, we need to discount. So I'm thinking about culture and a culture of scarcity, right? And so just holding your clients able and knowing that there is support for you all to have a salon that's there for your clients. If you go under, they have nowhere to have their services. So watch out for the culture of scarcity, like, oh, nobody has any money, so we can't have any either. And stepping into really charging your worth, but also inviting the team to look at who they're being about the money and what would more money mean to them. So I love your question.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Kathy. Yeah, so this is my one of my clients, Bridget. And what I love about Bridget is that we met her about a year ago at the IBS show in New York. She started out with my instant income program, my group coaching program, which I'm going to speak more about at the end of this training. And from there, then we saw her, I believe at the DC or Nashville show. She's like, I know there's something else that's next for me after instant income. She joined one of my Rev Up consulting pods, which is for booth renters and independent contractors, because she was a booth renter. And then through all of this, she started building her confidence, growing her numbers. And then in last August, she bought her salon. So she became a salon owner and started her dream. She came to B School in November to keep working on her business. And during this time, she is just looking at how she can really look at growing her business, taking some time for herself, implementing more systems in. She's been on fire on social media. She just, I think it was yesterday, she did a video on how to straighten her hair. And she's also doing delivery and curbside pickup at her business. So she is still on fire, working on her business, even during this downtime of the stay-at-home orders. So give a shout out to Bridget. I don't know, Bridget, are you on here? No, she was able to make it today. So some of the things that we're going to be going over with today is really looking at how to create the six-figure mindset, on systems on how to growing the six-figure income, because strict systems and structure give us more freedom. And then also looking at some strategies that individuals and companies can use to create six-figure incomes. So that's kind of the overall objective of what we're going to be going over with today. So the first thing that we're going to do is really looking at the mindset. So as Kathy even said, you know, creating a mindset from abundance. And again, this is even like before the pandemic started. Our industry overall has a charge your worth, charge with confidence challenge. Would everyone agree with that? Even before this stuff started. So this is going to be no different. So it's like, this is the time now to start like reading books, getting, you know, healthy. I know in last week, I talked a lot about creating a healthy mindset. Doing meditations is something that's going to change. You know, one of my coaches and mentors says, you know, money is everywhere. Money is all around me. So even during this time, it's going to be you guys unhooking yourselves from your clients' pocketbooks. If you're truly coming from service, there's going to be abundance, and then your clients get to choose. One of the books that I love that I read last year was by Ken Honda. It's called Happy Money, and he really talks a lot about like we really create our money values and our money perception when we're children, and it's really like how are we going to shift our money so that we have more abundance, and even like having gratitude when money comes to us and also leaves us. So one of the things I love that he said in this book I read is that even if you have debt, look at being grateful for it because somebody trusted you to be able to loan you that money and they trusted that you're going to pay it back. So again, it's just like living from abundance and unhooking yourself from your client's money story and really changing your money story on that. Kathy, do you have anything else you want to share about that?
Well, there is a piece about that we actually do talk about in B schools about the money mindset. You know, like what are the contexts what's the limiting belief you all? And I know we've got your teams on here today and we're so excited to have and leaders. What's the limiting belief you have about money? So look, I mean, really starting at the foundation here, whatever has been happening for you, it's exacerbated. It's just made worse by this current situation. And it's also an opportunity to look at what have you made up about money? What have you made up about money is bad, or anybody who has money is selfish or can't be trusted, or, you know, really just let yourself go. What in the heck do I believe about money? And starting there and cleaning up some of those limiting beliefs so that you can actually, we can say operate with an abundance mindset, knowing that there's plenty. But first step is to get the limiting beliefs out of your own way so you can live in that abundance and that you can stand proud and tall to ask your worth. So that's awesome. What I got about that.
Thanks, Kathy. I appreciate that. So another one is thinking long term. I know one of the biggest challenges that I see that happens in our industry as a service provider, the first year and even the second year can be challenging at first because it takes time to build your books. It takes time to build your practice and to build your confidence. So a lot of people, unfortunately, they go into our industry, they spend $25,000 on school, and then they drop out. So then it's starting to think about, okay, it's going to take me time to build my business and to build my books, and it's not going to happen overnight. One of the things I like to one of the examples I want to even give is when I'm coaching and training people on asking for referrals. I know a lot of times people will ask for referrals for a week, maybe two, and then they're saying to me, Bridget, nobody's coming in. I said, okay, well, did you stop? Yes, because I'm not seeing any results. All right, well, I want you to start thinking about having consistency on asking for referrals, every single guest, every single time. How many clients will you ask outside of the salons and spas? And then with consistency, you keep nurturing that. And then over time, you're going to be building. And then 6 months, a year, 2 years later, that's when you start having your full book of clients. So clients, unfortunately, don't fall out of the sky and fall into our laps. It's just not reality. It's taking the time to nurture and build those relationships and have them come in. And then, when you're goal setting and looking down the line, then you're going to see the long-term effect of all the seeds that you've been planting and growing. So I like to talk about that as like the snowball effect. So if you have the consistency, you're going to start seeing clients come in every, 2 to 3 referrals a week by doing that. Lifelong learner. I absolutely love education. I have it. There's 203 people on this training, which is amazing. You guys are committed to learning and growing. So it's like always looking at where can you grow with your technical skills? Where can you grow with your soft skills? Where can you grow with your communication skills? Like this is huge, doing that. Because communication is going to give you 80% of your success. So what do you need to do? Well, how are you going to take this time right now to read a book, to have a mastermind, strategy call with your team? And if you're a solopreneur, who do you work with? Who do you know that's a colleague that you guys can book club or take some classes? I mean, there's so much free education going on right now. So I really want you guys to think about that. And then when you're getting back, looking at like what's next for the, your salon and spa, it's like, how are you going to be recreating your relationships with your clients so you're bringing more value to your customers? So this is the time for reinvention. How can I best serve them? I know when I first took over my salon about 14 and a half years ago, it was kind of a little bit of a free-for-all. And one of the added values that I decided that we would do as a company, and it's on our website and it's our commitment to our clients, is that every single guest would receive a neck, scalp, and shoulder massage. So I started that right after I took over the business. So it was a different way that we were going to serve our guests. So I want you to even think about that. What is something that you guys can take on as a company, as a team, that you're going to have consistency with to better serve your clients? Because your clients, this time right now, I think everyone with the stay-at-home orders, everyone is going to be so much more grateful to have that one-on-one personal time. They're going to be eating it up. And the better you serve them, the more value you get, the better you make people feel, the more they're going to stick with you, and then they're going to recommend their friends and family to you. This is a great one. Setting healthy boundaries. I know I've already even started talking about this with my clients too. It's like, how will you go back to work when we're starting to take clients back on our schedules? And I've had one client say, well, I'm definitely going to work extra because I want to get everybody in. But I'm going to recommend we really looking at how we're going to also put boundaries down, because you can easily start opening up your books 12 hours a day, and then 6 months to a year later, you're still working 12 hours a day. So thinking about creating boundaries, and it's training people how to treat you as well. Like I remember I was coaching one of my clients in the Instant Income program, and she was sharing with me, she was taking clients at 1 a.m. at night. That's late, right? So it's looking at, okay, so I'm going to create my business structure so I'm catering to my ideal clients. And in my 6-figure tribe program that I teach, I also teach communication skills. And one of my clients that's in it right now, she texted me on Saturday saying that because she's learning all these communication skills, she's preparing herself and becoming that much more confident when she gets back into the salon. So really look at how are you going to be setting and creating healthy boundaries for yourself and with all the people that you work with your clients, and also your teammates and your coworkers. So these are some of the best practices I have for creating a healthy mindset. So there's like 2 ways that you can come from. We even talk about there's 2 ways. You can come from fear, or you can also come from love. So are you going to have a growth mindset most successful people, millionaires, have had failure after failure after failure. And they're always looking at like, how can I learn and how can I grow from this? You know, like every time you get back, you fall down on your face, how are you going to get back up? Or are you going to have the itty bitty shitty committee take over and you're going to look at failure like, oh my gosh, I'm never good enough. I don't know enough. When I go back to the salons, no one will be there. No one will have any money. That's the fixed mindset. Growth mindset will be, how am I going to look at this time right now during the stay-at-home orders? How will I grow myself? What classes will I take? How will I reinvent my culture of my salon? How will I reinvent the relationships I have with my team, with my employees, with my colleagues, and with my clients? So you get to choose, and it's just a muscle that you have to grow over and over and over again. You know, I want you to think about it like that. There's one place to start, and the more you practice and the more you choose, the more you get stronger at it, and you get to choose over and over again. So let's hear. I want to hear from some of the people in the chat. What kind of mindset are you going to pick? What will you choose?
Sherry says it's up to me. And Cindy says growth, growth, growth with a great big heart.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and this is one of my clients, Shelby, that she's gone to B school. She's one of my clients in VIP consulting. And one of the things I love about her, she is so coachable, and she's always bringing her challenges to me. And a lot of them have been with conversations that she's had with other people and not letting herself get hooked by other people's judgments and opinions. So she has taken all this on and she's grew her business by almost 20%. So how many of you want some of that? What is everyone? I want to hear what some people are saying. In the
Well, I want to share what Courtney says. Always trying to come from love. It's what I strive for, but fear does creep in at times, of course. So, you know, just recognizing that we're all human and that fear does creep in, and that you can be swept away by it, or you can get present to it. What am I really afraid of? Can I just be with that fear? Can I hold it with compassion? And then, what do I need right now? So we actually have an option. We can actually have an option, but it doesn't mean we're not going to run into any fear, but we can find ways to manage our fear and to move ahead in the midst of it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's actually moving forward in the midst of fear. So just wanted to share that with you. And thanks for sharing that, Courtney, because we all got some of that going on, most likely.
Yes. Yes, we all do. So it's just really looking at like, how do you just keep unhooking yourself from it over and over and over again? You know, and then like, I love systems. Systems give us more strength. And one of the examples, analogies I really like to use for systems, because, you know, the salon and spa industry, we're very creative people. Would you guys agree? So one of the systems that I like to think about is even like a creative haircut. So if you're going to just do a creative haircut and you're just going to start chopping away at hair with no structure or foundation under it, it's most likely going to look like crap. Would you guys agree? But if you have a foundational piece underneath it, so if you do the foundational bob and the foundational classic haircut, you put that in first, then on top of all of that, you now get to put your artistic flair, and then you have more ability to do what you want and to make recommendations to your clients. So I like to use that analogy for systems, because systems are going to give you freedom, and they're going to have you have a lot more creativity, and you're going to have a lot more fun. Oh, thanks, Kim. I do love using that analogy. So again, thinking about, you know, going back to the salons and spas, how will you revamp your system? So I'm working with my clients, Dory and Debbie, with their salon, and you know, started working with their team, and we launched the Instant Income Program to them last week. And they're really taking this time. They're in Maryland, and they're looking at taking this time to work with their team and reinvent the systems so that they're all stronger when they go back. So with that, looking at like, okay, so first system is like the greeting. Really wanting to think about how will we start greeting our clients? How will the front desk start greeting the clients? Will we have more enthusiasm when they come in? Will we be scripted when we answer the telephone? Will we really be at the front door greeting them and, shaking their hand or hugging them? What will be the greeting that we will do that's going to blow people away and have them remind us? That's a system to put in place. Consultation is huge. Like, I love training consultation systems, and there is a structure and a system to it. The consultation I teach today was the same consultation I did 14 years ago that took my average service ticket from $90 to $140. Imagine again what my average ticket would be if I still did hair. It would probably be like $300 because I retired from doing hair about 5 years ago. So consultation systems, I trained the Rockstar Results consultation. When is the last time you loved or liked your hair? What did you love about it? If there's anything you would change about it, what would it be? Are there any challenges that you're having? What products are you using? Like, I love training the system because I know it works. I have worked with service providers that have grown their businesses 30 to 40%, all because of the consultation system. Because I know it works. So, and then it's also like having everyone being on the same page. So your clients know that you have consistency. Because what are we doing today is not a consultation. You're just an order taker. So I'm going to invite everyone to look at how will you become in true service of your client, having your client do more services with you, spend more money with you because they love their hair and their skin and their nails. That's what the consultation is all about. Like, I don't train anyone to be slimy salespeople. I train people to come from true service and make all the kind of money they want to make and have happy customers and clients. And then when you're looking at the service, like, what are the conversations you're even having with your clients when you're doing the service? Like, I am, are we controlling our clients' conversations so that we're not gossiping and that we're talking about them and we're talking about their service? We're having active listening throughout the whole thing. Because I want everyone in here to, when they go back to their business, there's 74% missed opportunities in your businesses every single day. So throughout all this, I want you guys to go back and always be looking for the opportunity. So even when you're doing the service and your client talks about their best friend, Jackie, you could say, oh, tell me about Jackie's hair. Oh, Jackie has curly hair. Do you know that I love doing curly hair? I would love to meet Jackie. Like, I want you guys to start thinking about what your clients are saying and how you could seed plant and make opportunities more for yourselves. And then recommending and educating. With all this, with hair products, retail equals retention. And your clients are going to trust you more if they're purchasing retail from you. So it's then I have the rule of thumb, like, you touch it, you talk about it. And then always asking for permission. Like, based on all of our goals today, may make recommendations for you based on our goals for your skin, hair, nails, whatever it is. So you touch it, you talk about it. And then it's always that follow through. So walking your clients up to the door or up to the reception area and showing them the products. 90% of all of your sales are lost because you are not inviting and asking your clients. So showing them, these are the products I used on you today. Which ones would you like to take home? And if you show them 5 to 3 products, they're most likely going to take 1. And I understand now we're all challenged by Amazon or CVS or whatever it is. And I have a very simple script that I've been training my clients on. You guys want to hear it? Yeah? Cool. I saw a couple nods of a couple people I could see. All right, this is it. This is what you say. Would you be willing to support us as a small business? That's it. Simple. Would you be willing to support us as a small business and buy from us? If they say no, you move on to the next person. That probably is not your ideal client, okay? But again, we have to rechange, we have to reinvent our relationship with our clients. This is now the time, because I'm, again, looking for opportunities. If you see 10 clients in a week and 2 of your clients are buying retail from you, I'm looking at now 5 of your clients will buy retail from you. And that's with the consistency that I train. And then it's also then closing. How are you going to have follow through, rebooking? I talked about that in the beginning, changing your rebooking scripts, training your clients. If they have an existing appointment before they walk out the door with you, sending thank you cards. My team for years
I believe she's frozen. Would you guys say so?
She's frozen.
Notes.
Yeah. She is a little frozen.
What happened? Did I freeze?
You sure did.
Me? No, I said so many good things.
It was
How long have I been frozen for?
10 seconds.
Oh, not that long. Okay, good. All right, what is the last thing you heard?
Just keep on going.
Okay. All right. So personal
Time is
note.
of the essence.
What'd you say?
Time is of the essence.
Yeah. All right. Gotcha. All right. So yeah, so going systems. So this is the time to recreate your systems and look for ways you're going to better serve your clients. All right. Next slide. I bet I said some amazing things on that 10 seconds I was frozen.
Yeah, I think it's important that we just pause for 1 second and have people really look at what is a system you want to put in place when you guys do return. Like as we went through the service cycle, you know, as we're coming together as a team and as a group, like what do you guys want? Because I think it's important if a client sits in your chair or the person next to you or the person across the hall or in a different massage room, you guys are all speaking the same language. So I invite each and every one of you to create your system. What is your service cycle going to look like from the front desk to your technicians, you know, to your manager service cycle, so we're all speaking the same language.
Nice. That's awesome.
And Bridget, they're asking about thank you cards. That's where you would stop. They want you to finish that.
Thank you cards. Yeah. So one of the things that we've done, you know, for 14 years is send personalized notes to, you know, new clients that come into the salon. We, you know, my stylist would write a thank you. It was great to meet you. We put in, you know, referral cards into there because a lot of times we're not getting, you know, personalized notes have been kind of a dying thing and getting mail sent to us. So it's just a great way to nurture the clients. So it's planning. So right now is such a great time to be working your business plan, creating your sales goals. I know yesterday when I worked with my clients, we were talking about what are going to be the goals for each one of the service providers when they come back to the salon. So we're kind of looking at a couple different things. We're looking at, you know, I know for the salon owners, you know, we work with a lot of salon owners to have, you know, look at what your expenses are, doing a station break even. So that's one strategy that we do where we're looking at what does the company need to be producing for each service provider in order to pay all the bills and make a profit. And then it's also going to be paired with what are the service providers, what have they been doing on average, what are their benchmarks, and what do they want to be making. So we're going to really look at like strategic planning. And this is what I'm going to be inviting everyone to come together, get on your Zoom calls, get with your team, and really start creating your plans of action and what your goals are going to be moving forward. So this is just some, you know, we're human beings, and I kind of like to bring this up because it's just going to be like creating a higher awareness on where your minds and your brains are thinking. You know, like a lot of times we like to blame others around us, being afraid. We already talked about fear, making up excuses, living in our past. A lot of the times we like to have our past become a ball and chain and we drag it into the future. Complaining. I like to have a no complaining rule, like take a complaining fast, because complaining is going to get us nowhere. It's like, how are we going to shift from complaining to becoming a problem solver and adding value? Who are my controllers out there? Who are my salon owners that won't delegate because they want to do everything themselves, right? So this is even a time to look at like, how can we start letting go so we can have more people help us and start delegating out. Needing to be right. You know, there's a lot of times when we know we either ourselves or we know that person, like they need to get that last word in edgewise. Judging others, you know, it's like you never know what someone else is going through. So it's like looking at how you're going to have compassion. This one's huge for me that I've been working on for a long time, is that needing to impress others. So when I was a kid, it was like I didn't want, if you were mad at me, forget about it. So like 14 years ago, I was a people pleaser. And I still have a tendency, I can go down that road of being a people pleaser because I don't like people being mad at me. So as an owner, the more structures and systems and the handbooks I put in place and policies and procedures, that's given me so much freedom so that I don't have to feel like I'm always a people pleaser. So, you know, resisting change is inevitable. So I really want you guys to think about, if you even want to share in the chat, where do you guys notice yourself getting hooked in on these, you know, normal things that can happen in life in our brain because we're human beings? And what I'm going to invite you to do is to really just have a higher awareness on it so that when you notice that's happening, you notice that you're blaming somebody else because we are responsible for ourselves. It's really noticing it and changing something different so you can really change your mindset. Who says complaining, being pulled back into the, oh, right? Yes, it's like that whole thing, like misery loves company, right? So it's even when you guys are thinking about, we talked about culture yesterday, like even if you're ignoring the negativity, you're sometimes a part of the problem. So how are you guys going to show up as leaders in your organizations and with your teammates and really start shutting down that complaining and that negativity? Because believe me, negativity breeds more negativity. You guys relate to that? Anybody else want to share? What is there? Maybe one more? Who they notice they get hooked on it, so we know we're not alone. Fear of failure, right? Yeah, so again, so now we're just going to go into like really strategic planning, and you know, you guys are going to get one of the tools, and it's looking at, like, first of all, we want to look at goals. We want to look at the company goals. We want to look at the individual service provider goals. You know, I know sometimes goals for people can be scary. When I ask people how much more money do they want to make, the most common answer I hear is, I want to make more. You guys relate to that? I just want to make more. So I challenge people to really get clear on what do you want to make. So first of all, we have to look at what did we make? So what are we currently making? What is our current average paycheck looking like? And then looking at, okay, so 1 year from now, when our salons and spas open back up, how much money do I want to be making? So really looking at goals and all of that stuff. And then looking at like the desired outcome. And also that's another place where you can even look at like your vision. You know, yesterday I know that Kim talked about creating vision boards. Like even with those goals, where do you want to go? Like, what is that going to provide for you? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to have a savings account? Where does this want to take you? Do you want to go on a trip to Italy for 2 weeks? You know, what is that desired outcome that you really want to have? You know, and then how do you want to get there? So this is where strategy comes into play. So if I know that my books, before I left the salon and spa, I was only about 50% productive and I need more clients, what's going to be my strategy to get there? So how will I get ready every day, you know, every day in the morning? I know what my client Whitley, I trained Instant Income privately with her and her team. And one of the strategies for one of her stylists was every day when she starts work, she puts her referral cards on her station and has them ready to go. So that's a part of the strategy so that you're going to hit your goals. And then from there, you're going to start measuring your success and targets. So if you pass out 100 cards, you're going to start counting how many cards came back and are you hitting your target. So I want to have 10 new clients in the door. How many did I pass out and where am I at during like different parts, like a month from now, 2 months from now? And then you want to look at your results. Like, how did you do? And then, you know, with that, it's looking at, okay, so what are things that worked? These are great coaching questions. I have owners ask their team, or teams can ask themselves, because you want to review your results. And this is not about, beating yourself up if you didn't hit the ultimate goal. It's about just looking at what happened. So what were my wins? What were my successes? I'm always training people to look at the positive and the good. Like when Shelby, I did that testimonial for her. I'm always coaching people to look at what the positives are, what worked, and then what didn't work, what was missing. That's a lot of the things that we like to look at. Okay, so then what do you want to improve upon? So then those are the actions now. What do you want to improve upon and what's going to missing? And then now you start implementing that into your goal, back into your goals, and then you keep going around that cycle. So that's how the strategic planning cycle is. And you guys are going to receive a tool, which is going to be the SMART tool. And I'm going to recommend that everyone take this back. So your SMART tool, so it's going to be specific, measurable, agreed upon, and a realistic time. So if you're going to go back and say you want to create a 6-figure income, I want to know by when. I want to know exactly how much you need to bring in service dollars. And then you're going to measure it, and then you're going to start tracking it. So these are one of the tools that you guys are receiving. And you could do this individually. You can do this as a team. You can do it as an overall company. So it's just a really great thing that this is actually one of the things too that we have in our Moneymaker book as well. So I absolutely love this tool. And then the more you write it down on paper, the more it's going to help. So yes, like I said,
Hey, Bridget, I'm going to pause you for a second. We got some things in the chat. So we have some people overwhelmed making system rules, handbooks, etc. So we get it. We know it, right? You guys, the biggest thing, and a lot of times we meet people that maybe have not been in our community, and the people that have been in our community can relate. Before they started working with Empowering You, they were in overwhelm. They didn't know where to start. They don't know, which way to go and what system put in first, because, it's kind of like you guys try to eat the elephant with one bite. That's not how it's going to work. We have to really take small bites out of this big thing that you guys call your business. So you start a business, just having a dream without a lot of systems in place. And we know that we just went, Empowering You has fire hosed you with a lot of information the last couple of weeks, including this conversation of charging, how to make 6 figures, and what to do to create stronger service cycles. We know that. That's why we're doing these. That's also why we're here giving away free strategy sessions. So I think it's really, really important that if you get yourself in overwhelm by just one piece of this or all of this, to reach out and to get the support that you need, because we're trying to get you guys unstuck during this time and into action. So please, our clients can be sharing on here what they've been up to and how they've got themselves out of overwhelm and into action. But I think it's really important that if you guys are your head is starting to spin off your body right now because it's so much information, we get that.
Yeah.
Normal for us because we have this conversation every day. But for some of you guys, it's your first time having it. So will you just breathe? Just take a deep breath.
Yes.
And know that this tool that we're giving you is a great start for you to really start hashing out, what are your dreams? What do you want? And how can you bite size it? The biggest problem is you guys try to take it all in and you can't. It's impossible. And that's where we get frozen and we get into overwhelm. So take the tool and download it and then start working that way. The money.
One quick thing, Amy, with regard to that, I'm just, again, delighted that your teams are here today. We often have these conversations with the owners, the leaders, and the team doesn't hear it. So wherever you all have been, as owners, been feeling resistance from your teams, they're here today. They're hearing the same message. So I'm trusting that we're sprinkling and spreading the information around so that your whole organization can hear the same message, have the same conversation, and get on board. So that's really what we're trusting. That's why we invited you to invite your whole teams to join us today.
Yeah, I could spend days, a week on this one topic of today. So.
I think I interrupted Amy. Just one second, Bridget. Did you have one more thing? Another thing?
I did, yeah. So I think one thing, the last thing I'm seeing on here are vision boards and digital vision boards. I really do recommend that you guys get out the magazines, the scissors, and things like that. There's something about the textile process that really sparks your creativity. So as much as we're tapped in, turned in, all this stuff inside this digital world, I invite you guys to just disconnect from that, light a candle, there you go, Meg, and create your vision board, and not a digital one. You guys are plenty on the digital world. We're cool, right?
Yes.
Go in and do some old school stuff. That's what I got. Thank you.
That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, so these are just some hot tips on what to do moving forward after this training. Share your vision boards, create them, get out the paper, individually fill them out. Leaders, get with your teams individually, go over it, and then everyone come together and keep sharing and hold each other accountable. The more you share your dream and your vision with everybody, the more it's going to come true for you. All right, so just things that we went over, really looking at how you're going to create that mindset, read a book, take some more classes, look at recreating your systems. How will you make your system stronger when you get back? And then really looking at how you're going to create your strategies. So use that tool that we're sending you and really go after what you deserve. Again, even before the pandemic, our industry had a charge your worth conversation. This is time to reinvent it, reshift it, and really let's make our industry stronger. This could be very exciting times for everybody. It's all about reinvention. I love it, and let's really take that on. So again, make your life a dream and your dream a reality. You guys get to choose. So either you're going to wait for it to happen or you're going to make it happen. I really want to invite you. I'm going to be starting my next group, Instant Income, on June 1st. And it's a 7-week course paired with 5 live video trainings that I lead. So I dive way deeper into this stuff for 7 weeks. Your investment will more than pay for itself if you take on my training and you take on my consulting and basically do what I say. Your investment will pay for it. If one salon joins, then you can all you need to do is spend $49 more per team member. It is tremendous value for, I think, a very small payment. But I love this training. It's one of my jams, and I really invite you guys to set up a Calendly with me so I can talk to you more about it. And I'm going to be launching it on June 1st. It will be on Mondays, which is a rarity because normally we're at the hair shows and I'm doing in-salon trainings. So I am launching a Monday program, which is exciting. So again, these are my links and my phone number. You can absolutely text me. I will respond back to you within 24 hours or reach out to one of my team members. I am so excited that I was here with you guys today. This is my jam. I'm so passionate about this, and I'm just really excited for everyone to create their futures and live your dream life. That's what it's all about.
Thank you. Team, Empowering You team, could you put the link to the Moneymakers? Somebody wants to see the inside of it. Is on our website, and so you guys can see the inside of the Moneymakers. If you guys are interested in joining, please text Bridget or schedule a strategy session. Make sure instant income is the right fit for you. We also do private instant incomes for your team. So if you want your whole team to get on the same page at the same time, private instant income might be it. So please make sure you guys we're gonna add the links to the chat so you guys have all of that. But please put the Moneymaker link onto the chat. And again, you guys, please follow us, tag us in your stories on Instagram. And we want to hear, what was the biggest value for you today out of class? And just so you guys do know, we have classes every day this week at the same time, same Zoom line. So please continue joining us, every day as we continue on into this journey about really coming together as a team, creating better experiences for our guests, better team experiences, and by far, better experiences for us as the owners. So I just want to say thank you. We're at the top of the hour. Great job, Bridget. Thank you, the Empowering You team. If you guys have any more questions, please reach out to one of us and we can definitely get that going for you.
No, I'm done.
Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks.
Bye.